trust self-driving cars? Would you put your life in the hands of a 5,000-pound vehicle that has been trained on the streets of San Francisco, California? Well, consider looking behind me for a moment, because maybe you shouldn't trust them too much. Oh yeah, and also it gets worse. But let's just start here for today. Waymo confirms its car killed KitKat, Mission Bodega darling. Waymo confirmed on Thursday night that one of its autonomous vehicles killed KitKat, a beloved liquor store cat in the Mission District known by many as the 16th Street Ambassador. We reviewed this, and while our vehicle was stopped to pick up passengers, a nearby cat darted under our vehicle as it was pulling away, read a statement by Waymo. We send our deepest sympathies to the cat's owner and to the community who knew and loved him, and we will be making a donation to a local animal rights organization in his honor. Waymo did not reply to a request to review the video and did not say how much it would donate or what group would receive the gift. That's interesting. I wonder why they won't release the footage. Also, hey, why don't your cars have sensors underneath them to detect whether or not something's underneath the tire? What if that was a child? I said underneath the tire, but like in front of the tire, right? At the front of the car, low to the ground. And I know people will be like, oh, well, people should watch their kids. Yeah, but when you have a real person behind the wheel, a real person can see a child on the sidewalk and they can say, oh, okay, like I need to watch out for that potentially. Because if you've ever been in a Walmart parking lot, you know toddlers like to run behind your car as you're trying to back out of your space to go the fuck home before your ice cream melts. And you're telling me that Waymo, these fully self-driving autonomous vehicles, cannot tell if perhaps they were in the Walmart parking lot and maybe they were going through like that little pedestrian walking area, you know, the one where it tells you to stop like every 5 feet to let people cross. You're telling me that if Waymo dropped somebody off at a Walmart parking lot over by the entrance and a toddler excitedly holding their Kinder Bueno bar or whatever the fuck they have in their hand, they dart out past their parents, you know, and their parents isn't quick enough to grab them in time. You're telling me Waymo will just kill them? Kind of base, not gonna lie, but that's not the point. It seems to me like if your car doesn't have sensors to be able to predict that kind of thing or be on guard or have like a caution mode, you know, like like in races, how there's like a yellow flag that goes up or yellow light or whatever the hell, and the cars have to like drive more slowly and be on guard and on caution. How come Waymo cars don't have that? Why is there no preventative measure in place to avoid stuff like this happening, right? Like, right now, it was just a cat, okay? And I'm very sorry that KitKat died. It is very unfortunate. However, what's stopping it from being a human child next time? What's stopping it from being somebody's service dog or something? Like, what if somebody is walking and they fall in front of a Waymo? Is it just gonna run them over because they're too low for the sensors to catch? Whatever, let's take a look at some Waymo cars being stupid.
While these people were walking home, they came across dozens of cars that were stuck in this traffic jam, which is when they realized the funniest thing.
Are you telling me they have no way to get out of this?
These were all self-driving cars that
They're all the Waymo
got completely
cars.
gridlocked in this huge traffic jam, blocking the entire street as they all tried to figure out what to do next.
Wait, is this a
What's
different
hilarious
brand?
is the driver of this
Why
car
are
is
there
even
so many? Why are there so many of these?
honking at each other. And the
I thought these are supposed to have people that take over control in order to ensure that stuff like this doesn't happen. You just have like this massive pile up. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, 7, 8. Look at all of these self-driving cars. Is there really nobody at the helm at all? Like it can't switch over to non-autonomous driving? Here's some more footage. This is from ArizonaCentral.com and the Arizona Republic. I just spilled coffee on my keyboard. God damn it. Anyways, let's take a look at the footage now that that's been kind of cleaned up. There's still some coffee in there, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Braking at a green light? What? Why? The other guy was making a left-hand turn and he was making a left-hand turn. But the Waymo, I guess... Does it think somebody else is like... What? Does it think somebody else is running a red light or something? Like, what's going on there? What? Okay, so the context for this one, there's an accident up ahead. So everybody is merging left. But the Waymo car can't see that there's an accident up ahead. So the Waymo car just keeps going. And it doesn't... Like, it wants to go left, but there's no time. So the person at the wheel, I guess, takes over. And takes the car to the right. Because the Waymo... It doesn't know. It's too stupid. It lacks the context. Okay, here's another one. The Waymo has its left blinker on, indicating it wants to move over into the next lane. But it just gives up. It turns its blinker off, and then goes further up, and then turns its blinker back on. Now it's next to a really big truck, cargo truck. And it's leaving its blinker on. What is it doing? What the hell is it doing? And now it's got its blinker on again? What the hell? If I saw this in the wild, I would think that they're drunk. Oh, they keep braking too. They keep braking because they want to go over, but then they turn their blinker off. This is so weird. I would think this person is drunk. If I saw this while I was on the road, I would assume that this person is drunk, and I would check first. Like, I would probably try and drive up next to them to see if they were just like elderly, because a lot of elderly drivers do drive like this because they're scared and they're uncertain and they're like, oh, I don't know if I can get over. My eyesight's not that good. I don't know how close this other vehicle is to me. But if it wasn't an elderly person at the wheel of this car, I would assume that they were drunk, and I would probably call the police because the way that they are driving is just too erratic. It's unpredictable. It's dangerous. It's going to cause an accident. Waymo cars are not always entirely self-driving. So in this example, there is somebody at the wheel who's actually making a left-hand turn here because apparently the Waymo car is not able to do it itself. And then they drive down the road a bit, and then the Waymo car here pulls off to the side, and they called the police on the person following them. So I'm gonna unmute it here.
Media, they let us go on our way.
Hang on, wait.
That's the police calling them to wait. This is not really a great place to just stop.
Hi,
like,
guys.
whatever.
Hey. Are you
I guess
guys
the road's
with
empty,
these
so-
guys?
No, we're following them.
No, we're with the Arizona Republic.
Oh, okay.
For the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, they called in on you.
Okay.
License?
So yeah, the Waymo driver called the police on the guy filming him, and the police let him go once they found out that they were a news source. Here's another article. Waymo driverless car strikes bicyclist in San Francisco, causes minor injury. A driverless Waymo vehicle struck a cyclist in San Francisco, causing minor injuries. It was the latest incident in the city at the time when tensions around autonomous vehicles are particularly high after a driverless cruise vehicle injured a pedestrian. So that was Cruise is the other one, the red one, I think, not Waymo. I think one of these, I think, killed a cyclist and like dragged them under their car or something like that. But I couldn't find the article on that, so maybe that's just something I heard at some point and it's not actually true. I don't know. But this is another one where they don't want to release the footage. The detail about the pedestrian being dragged was omitted from the company's initial statement about the crash, and key footage from the car's cameras wasn't received by some regulators, including the California Department of Motor Vehicles. Okay, so maybe this is that story. Cruise's permit to operate fully driverless vehicles was suspended and the company paused all operations nationwide. Okay, so that was a different company from Waymo. However, we do have another instance of these self-driving car companies not wanting to hand over the footage for some reason. Isn't that interesting? I wonder if that's gonna perhaps continue to be an ongoing thing. They're just gonna say, nah, bro, trust me, bro. It's their fault, not our fault. No, you couldn't have predicted this. Waymo boss says people will accept if driverless cars kill someone. I think people will just accept it, you know, because what can we really do to stop you at this point? Waymo boss Takidra Malakana, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, believes people will accept if a driverless taxi killed a person by running them over, and it follows one driverless car running over a beloved cat. Driverless taxis have become more commonplace across the United States. Tesla's robotaxis are being tested in Texas. Amazon's Zoox taxis, what the hell, are popping up in Las Vegas. And Waymo has started expanding from the West Coast to the East Coast. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. The robot rideshares, however, haven't been without issue. Robo-taxis dropped 2 passengers off in the middle of traffic, while Waymo horns have been going off at all hours of the night and their taxis have sped through red lights. A Waymo in San Francisco even killed a beloved cat, KitKat, after one of the driverless cars struck it during a trip. However, Waymo boss Takidra Mawakana believes society will accept it if they kill people in the future. Will society accept a death potentially caused by a robot? Mawakana was asked by TechCrunch transportation editor Kirsten Korosek. Korosek? Whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not good with names! I think that society will. I think the challenge for us is making sure that society has a high enough bar on safety that companies are held to, the Waymo CEO said. Companies should be transparent about their safety record. Companies should publish data about how many crashes they are involved in. Hey, you know, I think companies should also publish the footage of the crashes. I think that would be really transparent of you. Oh, wait, what's that? Sorry, that's too transparent. You can't do that? Oh, okay. All right, my bad. We want to be held accountable, just not too accountable.